It's just one of these genius little vignettes. And that's what Sinwar was. He was a genius. He knew he was going to die.
Who was Sinwar? Sinwar's the person
who's committed suicide. Sinwar's suicide was an IDF-assisted suicide. I wrote about this almost instantly after the October 7th invasion. It didn't make any sense that Gaza would undertake such an act against Israel, given the asymmetry. And what this mirrored was that before the 1990s.
So you think Sinwar committed suicide to then cause the people of Gaza to invade Israel?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Sinwar would be happy enough for all the Gazans to die. And so what he did was he architected a situation in which Israel would be compelled to respond using the wrong tools. He tricked Israel. And I'm very confident to talk about this because if you check my old tweets, I say IDF-assisted suicide and Munchausen by proxy and Zugzwang, right? And I said, these are the concepts, familiarize with yourself because Israel is going to invade Gaza. And I knew what was going to happen because it took me, why would you do this? It doesn't make sense from first order logic, but third and fourth order logic, you're like, oh, of course it makes sense. This is hybrid war. The most important thing for Sinwar is video.
Why?
Look at the effect of the video. The video of Gaza has turned the world to an extent against Israel that's sort of inconceivable. There's a doctrine called hybrid warfare. And I think it came out of the US in the early 2000s. And it says that the kinetic component of warfare, the killing, the actual shooting and the planes and the bombs and all this kind of stuff, is not the major component. The social media is really important. The video is important. The mimetic complex is important. And Israel has an advantage over the Gazan Arabs in kinetic warfare. And Sinwar knew that, and he was like, brilliant. All we need to do is force Israel to come after us. And this is this thing I was going to say, before the 1990s, we had a spate of killings of policemen firing on people who had pulled toy guns on them. And we would say things, and I remember this, like, whatever you do, don't point a toy gun at a policeman. Don't you realize what's going to happen? And then somebody coined the phrase police-assisted suicide. The policeman is the instrument. That's what I knew was going to happen. And for better or for worse, Bibi just couldn't figure out where he was. And Bibi was dumber and Sinwar was smarter.
Is there any way back from here? Because you said this is World War III.
Well, the way there is, but it's slim and it's evaporating. I mean, almost everything depends on Saudi Arabia and the Iranians and the Persians. If the Persians didn't take this opportunity to rise up against their oppressors, I don't know what they're waiting for. Yes, you're going to get killed in some numbers, but you have to figure out whether you're interested in tyranny or not. So the Persians are absolutely falling down on the ground, on the job, not rising up against the mullahs. This is a coordinated moment. Like, there's a moment for a prison break. This would be it.
Who are the mullahs in this?
The Ayatollahs, the
government of
Khomeini,
Iran?
yeah, the theocratic government of Iran.
So the rulers of Iran, basically, the people that are, okay.
So I don't know if you know a ton of Persians. They're varied in their religiosity. But there's an underground gay scene in Tehran. There's super hyper modern people just like you and me who can't stand these guys.